Hey guys, it's Gypsy, and today we're going to unbox this doll. She is the Made to Move, what most people are calling the Hiker doll. I'm not going to do like a real detailed review like I normally do because I'm not really interested in any of the stuff that she comes with. She's more a body donor and a clothing donor for me. So that's what I'm going to focus on, and that's what most people are interested in with this doll. If you have the Caucasian version of her, she's wearing a different outfit, but pretty much comes with all the same stuff. So it's the same stuff that you're going to find in that doll's packaging. So if you want to have more details on a review of the stuff, I suggest checking out some other reviewers' videos for that. But we're going to talk more about the doll herself. So long time no see, you guys. I'm still around. I'm just super busy. Adonis has kind of stepped in to man the channel for me, which is great. This is going to be more like a comparison kind of a thing, and just checking out this doll. So let's get into it. Okay, so I have carefully removed the doll from the box, and I took all her gear off that she had all around her camping stuff, and this is what was left. And she is wearing a helmet, which I'm going to take off. So there's a little strap here that you can open. Alright, so here is what her head looks like without her helmet on. It's like tied back. First impressions with this doll, of course, is her skin tone and her hair. The significance of the skin tone is that is one of the darkest shades that Barbie produces their dolls in, and this skin tone has always been very difficult to match with an articulated body, but since they came out with the new line of yoga dolls, this skin tone has been included in that line, which is actually Royal's body back there. She's on that body, wearing I think the same clothes that the doll originally had on before I head swapped her. Just do a quick comparison to see. Yeah, I think they're the same skin tone. And I actually did do a custom body of this skin tone color for some of my dolls that were in this complexion before I was able to get a hold of these bodies. And I was able to match my custom dolls with the skin tone. So there's a DIY way to do this, you guys, if you have to. But anyway, so either one, the yoga one or this one, will match the skin tone if you have other dolls that you need to head swap. So I just wanted to point that out there. Let's take a look at her outfit. I think her outfit is a lot better than the Caucasian version of this doll. They are wearing actually two different things. So the other doll has on, like, I think her top is like green with short sleeves and it's got a little pattern on it. And then she has on these like khaki shorts. The shorts are really cute. I do like the shorts a lot. But this doll, her whole outfit I think is better. This shirt is a lot more usable. It's got a prettier print on it. And she's got plain jean shorts, no pockets or anything. And those will match pretty much anything. So I do like the outfits that these dolls came with, especially hers. I love the bright colors. I think these bright colors look so good on dark dolls. And she's got some makeup on her face. It's very subtle, but it is there. She's got the pink lipstick. She's got the purple eyeshadow. And her mouth is open. Not 100% sure which head sculpt this is, or if I've seen the sculpt on any other Fashionistas dolls. I don't have every single one, so I probably might have missed a couple that could have had this head sculpt. If you recognize it, drop it in the comments which sculpt you think this is, or which Fashionistas dolls in previous lines might have the same head sculpt, so I can do a little comparison of that in my own stash. And she has the traditional Made to Move body, it looks like. She's got all the usual joints that they have, including this piece here that rotates, and this is one of the signature things on the Made to Move bodies that they don't have on these other dolls that are more high-end collector dolls. They have the knee and the elbow joints usually, but they will be missing this rotating joint here and the rotating joint up here. So that's how you know if it's like an original Made to Move body or if it's one of the altered modified versions which I'm not a really big fan of, but whatever. You gotta take what you can get, I guess. There is also a chest joint and no waist joint, but the legs here move at the hips, of course, so you can sit her down and do somewhat of a split. And I believe, yep, just like the original bodies do, she does have an ankle joint as well. Her foot looks really beat up. It's like kind of ashy. But I am noticing that these newer Made to Move lines have stronger joints in the ankles than they used to when they first came out, which excites me because I hate those loose joints. When the shoes are flat, the feet will just go up like this, and it's really aggravating to pose your dolls. So I've had to modify my own dolls from the earlier lines so that they don't have that issue. And it's just frustrating to do that, guys. Time consuming and frustrating. Yeah. So the other thing about this doll that is a major feature is that she has tons and tons and tons of hair on her head, and the texture of the hair is very similar to like a coarse afro hairstyle, or a hair texture, I should say. It's very kinky, but despite it being extremely curly, it's not despite it being extremely kinky, the hair texture is still super soft. So that is a highlight of this doll and her features. Somehow they got this part of her head flat enough to get into like a little ponytail back here to put the helmet on, but I don't know how they did it. I hope her hair is as well rooted as it looks like it would be, because sometimes they'll root all the way around and leave spotches in the middle of the head where the rooting is very sparse, so they can make the hair flat. We're gonna take this ponytail out and look. Okay, so here is the hair out of the ponytail, and oh my god, it's just a lot of hair. I don't really think that they rooted this doll with sparse patches. I mean, the hair itself is so thick that even if they had, you probably wouldn't be able to see a huge difference, but that's pretty interesting. Yeah, that cat in the background, you guys, I know you guys are gonna go, oh, I thought you guys didn't have pets. I thought you didn't like pets. Yeah, we don't. That cat belongs to my neighbor, and he's got like a bajillion freaking animals over there. I swear to God, they think they live here. They just come into my yard, come onto my porch, and be hanging out here. It is so annoying, okay? And those cats, I don't know what it is about them. They are like fearless. Like, you can yell at them, stomp at them. They don't go anywhere. They just sit there and look at you. It's ridiculous. It's almost like they're challenging me to keep it moving. I can't stand them cats. Oh, Adonis doesn't mind them because he's a cat person, and he thinks they like keep down rodent populations on the property and stuff. But listen, we ain't never really had no problem with rodents. So that's not enough of an incentive for me to tolerate those cats. So here I see like it's a little patchy here. So if you were to part her hair at the side, you would probably have to deal with those big parts where you can see her scalp. But the scalp is the same color as the hair, so that helps the camouflage. But yeah, you can see here in the front, it is a little bit patchy. The plugs are really huge, and there's a lot of space between the plugs. So even though there's a lot of hair rooted, it's just not like, it's not in lots of holes. They did less holes and just put more hair in the holes to keep this look. So this is normally not what you see with the straight-haired dolls. And I will try to show you what I mean. Here's my Tommy Hilfiger doll. She has pretty much straight hair, and if you look at her scalp, you can see that the plugs are closer together. It's not a lot of open space on her scalp where her hair is rooted. Everything's pretty close together. So of course it's not gonna be like 100%. You're still gonna see scalp, you guys. That's unavoidable because they're dolls and they have to root the hair in. But you can see that when you part it, it's not so much of her head showing as with this doll. When you part it, there's just a bigger chunk of the scalp showing. So something to keep in mind for those who like to get creative with hairstyles on your dolls. Just be aware of that and be prepared to camouflage that much as you can. But if she's just rocking her hair, you know, loose and big, like how it seems as though it's designed to be, then she should be okay. You probably won't be able to see the scalp because the hair is so thick that it's not that hard to cover unless you have a very, very distinct part line. Okay? No earrings, no jewelry whatsoever. Of course, that makes sense. She's supposed to be climbing a rock. She's supposed to be climbing mountain tops. Ain't nobody got time for jewelry. And her hair is just massive. Like, it's huge. Very, very cool look. Man, if I saw a girl in real life with hair this big in a fro, I would be like, I would want to go touch it. I'd be like, can I touch your hair? This is a very cool look. I'm not sure if I personally think that she's got a pretty face. It's probably because this weird like tooth line that I think is just drawn onto her lips. So I'm not certain if her lips are actually parted in such a way that she has teeth. I don't think that they are. So I'm probably going to remove this and give her a new set of lips like I did with Royal. She had on like a bright lipstick when I first got her, but I got rid of it and drew on more realistic lips. Probably gonna do that, and I'll probably like her a lot better without the fake teeth showing. But from this angle, I can't tell. I don't know if she actually has to have her teeth extracted because there is a space there, or if they just drew that on. It just looks like it's drawn on to me though. And the texture of her hair, although it's very, very curly and coarse looking, like I said, it's soft. And when you pull, you can see that there's a lot of length here. So if you're one of these people that just love to restyle the doll's hair texture, this doll would probably have a really cool texture if you boil washed it and let it set, and then went behind that and straightened it a little bit with the straightening iron method that I showed you guys in one of my tutorials. Her hair length is so good that it will probably turn out really good on her. But also keep in mind that with these dolls that have like an afro hair texture, they do tend to root the hair in the direction that kind of goes out, like goes up like this. So even if you straighten it, you may have to set the doll's hair flat so that it will lay down. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. It was like that for the yellow top Made to Move Barbie, but I don't know if this one has been rooted that way. It's just, sometimes they do that, like especially if the doll's hair was in a high up ponytail when you bought her. Normally they root the hair going in that direction, so it's harder to lay it flat. So I just wanted to point that out, let you guys know that that is a thing, and to watch out for that. And as far as head swapping goes, she would be the perfect candidate for head swaps for these dark skin tones, which there are a pretty good handful of dolls at this point that have been produced in the skin tone that have the stiff bodies. So any of your dolls that would have fit on the yoga doll in that skin tone and the musician Barbie doll in the black skin tone would be good candidates for this doll too. As for her, I'm probably not going to do a head swap in this video because I do intend to customize her a little bit and keep her on this body for the time being. But if I don't like the way she turns out, I might end up transplanting her onto just a regular musician body and giving this body to another one of my doll whose sculpts I like to look at more often. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, you know what I forgot to mention was another thing about the hair. The color of the hair. This is so different in that it's jet black and there's no other hair colors mixed in. Normally when Mattel gives us dark skinned dolls, they like to do things like this where they highlight the doll's hair with different shades of brown, or just will straight up give you blonde hair or something like that that's very like unnatural for black people to just have without dyeing their hair, of course. But with her features, they made it not like that. So somebody was able to resist the temptation of spiking this girl's hair with tons of different colors, and I think the natural black of the hair just makes it more realistic looking for her. So that was exciting to see that on this doll, because it just has a little bit more integrity as far as representation is concerned for this demographic of the community that would probably want a doll like this for their kids. Most black kids do not have different highlights in their hair that have this hair texture. I'm not saying nobody does. I'm saying it's not the usual thing. So it's unusual if you see that. So I like that they were able to represent a majority of people with this hair type and as a reflection of the hair color. That was pretty cool. But yeah, so that's the last little bit there that I forgot to mention about the doll. And her hair is like kind of addictive to touch. It's like a stress relief or like a sponge. Yeah, so I hope that you guys liked this video, and drop it in the comments. Like I said, if you recognize this head sculpt, which sculpt is it, or what other Fashionistas dolls or other collector dolls have this head sculpt, because off the top of my head, I just can't think of it right now. Also, for some reason, when I first saw pictures of this doll, I thought that she was the same sculpt as the musician doll, which is called, I think her head sculpt is called, I want to say it's called Kim, but it's not that head sculpt. So I don't know, I just assumed that it was, and that's also the same sculpt as the original doll that comes with this body. So I thought it was that head, but it's not. It's a different head. Alright, well, check us out on Instagram if you want updates on what I do with this doll, and make sure you're subscribed if you want to see more dolly fun videos. And sometimes I end up listing these things on eBay when I'm just overwhelmed and I have too much stuff in the house. So make sure that you are following our eBay store, which there should be a link for down below or at the end of the video, so that you can keep an eye on the stuff that we list. There's a lot of doll stuff up there, and I kind of gave up sort of on listing on Instagram because it's way too hands-on. Instagram is not set up for selling things, so when I do happen to list stuff on eBay to get rid of, on Instagram to get rid of, it's like a whole ordeal. So my brain just cannot handle it. I'm just not programmed to be able to micromanage like that, and that's part of the reason why when I start having to downsize, or I have like parts of dolls that I don't want anymore, I just list it on eBay. So check out that, and if you have any questions, hit us up on Instagram, and me or Adonis will answer your questions about our eBay store if you guys are interested in anything over there. Anyway, that's it for us today. I'll see you in another video. Have a dolly day.